recording.
Hello, this is Sean Harwell. You're listening to episode 20.5, a mini episode of the Never Heard of It podcast.
And this is Craig Moorhead. This is our mini cast in which we talk about things that have not fallen through anyone's cracks yet.
Mm-hmm. Small things.
Small things through small cracks.
Mini Coopers, Mini Mouse.
Mini Oreos, bite size.
Oh, those sound good. Now you're just making me hungry.
Yeah.
Craig, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you doing?
You know what? I'll go with all right too. That sounds fitting
Good.
tonight.
Good.
I got a couple things for us to walk through here today, and I think there's some juicy stuff.
Juicy.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little juicy today. So put your bib on. And I mean, the first thing that we're gonna talk about is actually something that I read about via your Facebook for the first time, and I'm salivating, and I suspect you are as well. This was the announcement the other day that TCM and Criterion are sort of joining forces to launch a streaming video service that should be out this fall. It's going to go by the moniker Filmstruck, unless they change that between now and then. And I think it sort of sounds like we're going to get a bit of the typical Hulu, Netflix, Amazon competition here, but with a really interesting library, obviously. And it seems like from the article I read that curation is going to be a huge part of this. Obviously, TCM does this on a nightly basis. And one of the things they were quoted as saying, the guy from Criterion, that it's going to be clearly thematically programmed. It's going to be clear not only what's there to watch, but why it's there. I think that's exciting.
I love it.
Even if these weren't like classic films or the stuff that Criterion is putting out that I think you and I both enjoy frequently. I don't know if Netflix was saying, "Hey, we're going to tell you not only what to watch but why." I'd be excited about that too. I think that's a really interesting. It's just a POV to have, other than just throwing crap up against the wall and saying, "Okay, you find it yourself," or because you watched this, here's this other movie you might like that actually has nothing to do with the movie you just watched. Yeah. So I'm hoping that it'll be a pretty good experience. What was sort of your initial, I don't know, are you just excited about the movies themselves, or what are you thinking about in regards to this? Is it something you're immediately going to subscribe to? Are you going to test the waters with it, or what? Yeah,
I mean, there what's not to like? I mean, that's I've been hoping they would do some sort of thing like this for a while, so I wouldn't have to like pay for the Golf Channel and the real estate channel to get a standard def version of TCM. Like this sounds great, so I will totally get this.
Yeah, and it makes a ton of sense on their part because they are definitely a channel that was, they were movie only. I don't think they've ever done, they may have done a few original programs and then mostly probably people talking about movies. But yeah, as far as looking at cable channels that probably are hurt by people cutting the cord, I would say this is definitely one of them, because this is what they do. They offer stuff that the same way that kind of Netflix does before Netflix. And I think I read today also that I guess Ted Turner bought the entire MGM library at one point, pre whatever the year is of films. But I'm very curious to see if that then means, unlike say Netflix or Amazon, that the movies that they're going to have in their library hopefully will be there indefinitely.
Right.
And that's really exciting I think we'll have to wait and see about that. But I think theoretically it seems more plausible that would be the case, as opposed to, as we've learned with this podcast, you go to watch a movie one night that we talked about 2 days earlier, and then suddenly it's not on one of these streaming services and you can't find it anywhere.
Right. And there's really no way to tell when that's going to happen or
why
you have to
it's dig,
going away
for sure.
or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I think the price will be an interesting question. One thing I read today that makes me slightly cautious is just the wording here in this paragraph. And I'm reading from IndieWire. Criterion will be a premium, they're going to call it the Criterion channel on Filmstruck, will be a premium tier that will give you access to the large selection of Criterion films with supplemental features, which I think is also really cool. And then you'll have the run of their library. It's that premium tier wording that makes me worried.
Yeah, so you're paying $10 a month for TCM, and then to get Criterion, you have to pay $15 more or something.
I think that will be a model that fails if that is what they go with.
Yes.
I think that will turn people off, and I hope it's not the case. It may be the case, and they may learn the hard way.
Especially considering people are already getting Criterion on Hulu right now.
They're getting on Hulu right now. I don't know if any of the features are on Hulu. I had Hulu, and I definitely watched Criterion stuff, but I don't remember seeing any of the features there. And they obviously do not have the entire Criterion collection up on Hulu. I think it's also important to point out that they're saying they're absolutely in no way slowing down or getting rid of or transitioning away from Blu-ray and DVD. He's saying there's not a better way for us to deliver the highest possible quality video in a beautifully curated and packaged edition that people want to keep on their shelves, which I 100% agree. So I'm glad that that's not going away. Very, very optimistic and hopeful that this turns out to be as cool as it sounds. And I think you can sign up on filmstruck.com to get, whatever their newsletter will be, and just so you'll hear about it as soon as they launch, if you're interested in that. But it's definitely something we'll keep our eyes on for sure.
It's pretty rad.
And let's hope they have the movie rad. Wouldn't that be cool?
Man, yeah. Thrashing would be good too.
Yeah. There is a dearth of older movies available on stream. Well, anyway.
Well, it does make me wonder. I think it was TCM that for a while was doing a late night show, I think that Rob Zombie hosted, where he was kind of doing like 50s grindhouse-ish type movie, like B movies.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. And I barely got to even watch any of those episodes, but I just loved the fact that it existed. I would love that to be available.
I had no clue. Yeah, that's super cool.
So,
well, let's hope that happens, man. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Moving on then to something completely different. Let's talk Transformers 4 for a second.
We always do.
I sent you... right. First of all, have you seen Transformers 4?
No.
Yeah, I think I stopped
no.
after number 1, I think, actually. Oh, did I see Transformers 2? Maybe. Not sure.
I've definitely seen parts of all 3. I definitely saw all of 1. I saw parts of 2 and 3. And 4 is the one that I kind of forget exists.
Paramount right now may want to also forget it exists in this specific way, because I sent you an article today, and this is coming from io9.com, I think. They're being sued by a travel company in China for not following through on a product placement deal. Now, apparently the specifics are, this is Wulong Karst Tourism.
Perfect. That was nice.
None of those words sound Chinese to me.
That was very good, yeah.
Yeah. But then this is actually a state-backed, which means Chinese-backed, travel company. Apparently paid Paramount and the Chinese co-producers, which I didn't even know Transformers 4 had Chinese co-producers, which is crazy. $750,000 for a logo with China Wulong to appear in the movie, and it's not in the movie. Now, what's interesting is that they're not arguing that. Paramount is saying, hey, we know it's not in the movie, but Michael Bay, the film's director, shot a commercial for this tourism company, and they left the sets and the props behind. So that, I guess, the article is sort of suggesting, in theory, they could turn this into some sort of like tourist destination themselves to come see these props and stuff. And this company is suing them for $27 million, which is nothing to, blink an eye at. Any thoughts on that? First of all, do you care about product placement? I understand it. My thing is, it feels like a necessary evil to some degree. I don't mind it that much in these huge movies.
I do feel like on one hand, it's Transformers 4. So, yeah, I don't care if there's product placement. I don't feel like you're cheapening the experience of Transformers 4, which is basically just going to be blowing everything up as much and as quickly as possible.
And also, Transformers in and of itself is product placement for toys, I guess.
Right.
So
the whole thing is, it is one big commercial. And I mean, in a sense, especially for people who are like big fans of it, what could there be that would be better than that? Like they'll never stop making them because they always make tons of money. And the whole thing is a commercial that you enjoy watching. Congratulations.
Right. Don't you wonder how it went down that Michael Bay ended up doing the commercial for them? Did they just forget to shoot it? to put it in the movie? Did they shoot it and then he was like, no, I got to cut that? Because I like, yeah, what do you do?
That's what I'm trying to figure out too, because I feel like there's no way a movie this big doesn't have a room filled with lawyers that watch the movie and make sure that all of these I's have been dotted and T's have been crossed. Because they have all these product placement deals. They're all worth a certain amount of money. They're legally binding. They have this obligation. They have to do this. And so, team of lawyers watch that movie, and if any of them noticed that this logo wasn't there, then they would have just CGI'd some junk and put the logo in there. Like, there's no reason for the logo not to be there. Unless somebody just forgot. They had so many product placement deals, somebody just plain forgot about it. And I mean, who knows? Maybe it was a strategic thing. Maybe they're like, well, the most they'll sue us for is $27 million, so who cares?
Which is crazy.
I mean, could be. I have no idea.
Because you have to imagine, especially with a Michael Bay movie, the cuts are happening so rapidly. Could you not just go shoot, in your backlot in 10 minutes? Just put the damn logo on a table, shoot it, flash it for, a second and a half somewhere in the action. Don't even shoot it with a still camera, a locked tripod. And then just freeze frame in court and say, there's your evidence. Like nobody would be the wiser.
And was the commercial always a part of the deal, or did you shoot the commercial to try and rectify it?
I just want Michael Bay, like the next Transformers movie has to be all about like that tourism company is going to have their name in the title of it. Everything. Yeah. It would be fantastic. Craig, it's that time.
Okay.
Got a question for you. If I told you that there's an Adventures in Babysitting TV movie coming to the Disney Channel June 24th, would you think that we've reached peak nostalgia this week?
Well, let me ask this. What is post peak? Like what is once you've gone over the peak and you're just the descent? The nostalgic descent?
Descent nostalgia?
Because here's my thing.
You reach the peak, you look out, you take in the wonders of the world, and then it's just all like, okay, yeah, it was fun. Right. It's not going to get better than that. Let's go home.
Maybe, yeah, we're tucking the kids in. Well, I mean, it's going to be a TV movie for who you said?
Disney Channel. It's two teen rival babysitters.
Well, this makes sense. Yep. Here's what happened. I'm gonna walk you through this, Sean, because I know you don't really like to pay attention to the industry, but in '86 we had 86 or 87 we had Adventures in Babysitting. Everyone knows the film. I think it was Best Picture that year. And then
it was
just a few years ago. A fine filmmaker made a movie called The Sitter, which I felt was the update. All of us who had seen it as kids. It seemed like it. Now we have kind of it's a little dirtier. It's a little, little nudge, wink, wink, a little bit more funny. I enjoyed it, but I felt like that was for us. That was the peak nostalgia in terms of Adventures in Babysitting. And so now we got to make it. We got to give it to the kids. Now we're giving adventure. We take this gift. That's this gift from our Lord and Savior, and we give it to our children now to pass on to their children. Adventures in Babysitting.
I can get behind that theory. I have no problem with that. Well, I have one headline for you. I just want a reaction.
Okay.
From the AV Club, Jim Henson's son to direct R-rated puppet movie with Jamie Foxx.
If you came in and you had like a disc in your hand, you said, Craig, let me show you this R-rated movie by Jim Henson's son and Jamie Foxx. I'd be like, yeah, all right, let's pop it in.
Right.
But it's not something like that I'm going to be following necessarily. But when it comes out, yeah, I'd probably check that out.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Meet the Feebles?
Not all of it.
Yeah.
The Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. R-rated puppet movies, I feel like we've had our share. Team America, obviously. Absolutely. Yeah, there's really no shortage of them. So it'll just be interesting to see what it is. I think there's an expectation because his name is on it that it's going to be satirical maybe toward Muppets, or will it just be a grown-up Muppets? I mean, I don't know. Who knows what he'll do? I'll wait for the trailer. Yeah. But good luck to them all. I think so. Last thing, I think this is also a good luck to everyone involved. I read today also from the AV Club that Universal Studios has announced it will be bringing William Friedkin and William Blatty's The Exorcist to its annual Halloween Horror Nights event. The influential 1973 horror film will be featured in both the company's Orlando and Hollywood locations, where Florida attendees will get to, quote, hear, feel, and even smell every iconic, levitating, head-spinning, vomit-wrenching, skin-crawling moment. While Universal Studios Hollywood attendees will be treated to the Exorcist maze.
Well, I'll say this first and foremost. I'm in favor of this generally.
Right.
But great. Yeah.
How does that work with the Exorcist? I can't imagine.
I have no idea. I don't want to smell vomit.
No.
If I go into a room and there's someone pretending to be Linda Blair and be possessed, I don't know if I'll be happy about that. I don't know how you pull this off.
I don't either.
For actual fans of the movie, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't understand the maze though. Maybe a Shining maze, but then they'll be in trouble with like Warner Brothers.
It's just a really confusing DC apartment. If I remember correctly from the movie. Maybe you had to go up and down the stairs
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it's just getting through Georgetown and just the frustration.
That's what that maze should be sense. Is definitely those stairs outside that Father Marin.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You actually roll down the stairs to your death. That is going to be a scary one. Well, I have nothing else to talk about. In the world of movies.
I like when that happens. It just means that we covered it all. And if you are out there right now thinking I need more of Shawn and Craig, then go back and listen to our full episodes. The latest one is about John Boorman's 1985 jungle adventure family drama, The Emerald Forest, starring Powers Booth and Charlie Boorman. Yeah, give it a listen, and you know where to find us online, Facebook, Twitter. We're out there.
Come get it.
Come get some.